So I cannot wait for you to experience it with us. It's an amazing journey.
In any case, this structure of the tomb of Jesus was repaired and studied and checked recently by the University of Athens in Greece. The scholars who came here, they reinforced the building, which until several months ago was surrounded by steel scaffoldings. It was like that since 1920s, and they were removed only recently. They excavated also underneath the building and found the remnants of the true bedrock, which really exists underneath. So we are here in the Rotunda, which is the major part of the Holy Sepulchre, and it has the tomb and has the empty tomb where resurrection took place. Most of the area here is in the hands of the Greek Orthodox, who were the first to be here. They are directly continuing the Byzantine Empire, and therefore they have the vast majority of the property within the complex. Over there is the Catholicon, which is a large church in the hands of the Greek Orthodox Patriarchate.
So we're deep into this area where we have the tomb, and here we have, through here you can see original walls of the tomb, and here. So in this inner sanctum here, a very holy place, we're in the tomb of Jesus, and you can see through this plexiglass here, behind this door here, you know, it's the original stone that would have been there when Jesus was entombed here. You have to cross a couple of barriers to get into here, but it's an extremely revered and holy place.
Professor, good morning.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you. Okay, people, we are here in a small chapel which belongs to the Syrian Orthodox community. This community, the members of which are mainly scattered in Iraq, in Syria, and some of them recently also in the States. This community is very much persecuted and very poor. This is the only community which did not sign the agreement between the different denominations in the church for the restoration, and therefore the place is very neglected. You can see remnants of fire. The altar is wooden and it is badly affected by the conflagration. Something which is the most fascinating about this part is that here there is inside a rock-hewn burial cave. The burial cave has one chamber, and perpendicularly into the walls there are burial niches cut to the depth of 2 meters, into which the bodies of the deceased were laid. Now, after about a year, after the decay of the flesh, they came back, collected the bones of the deceased into bone boxes, and freeing the burial niche for the next generation to be buried in. Now, the bone boxes were laid upon a shelf which is cut in the floor. There is a central depression surrounded by 4 sides of a shelf. On the shelf, they put the bone boxes one above the other. The burial customs reflected by the plan of the cave dated back to the early Roman period, 1st century BC, 1st century AD. It is today known as the tomb of Nicodemus. But actually the ancient church cut through it and the building went through it. So they buried it underneath the ancient building. And they couldn't care less about the cave. The cave was looted in antiquity. That cave testifies for the probability of this area serving for other burials as well. It strengthens the identification of the place here as the authentic place of crucifixion and burial of Jesus. So inside is the burial cave. It is a true burial cave from the time of Jesus.
And that is validation, for
At
this
least
being,
toward the possibility.
yeah, towards the possibility.
This is the center of Earth, the navel point of Earth. According to Jewish tradition, the center of Earth and the area first created by the Almighty is the protruding rock, which is underneath the Dome of the Rock at the Temple Mount. All those Jewish traditions were transferred in the early Christian period to the newly built Christian shrine, which replaces the Old Testament and the old religion. This is the Holy Sepulchre, built by Emperor Constantine. And here, this stone marks for the Greek Orthodox the center of Earth. The floor here is a modern floor, but it imitates exactly the same patterns which were here in an earlier medieval floor. Now, the altar is behind the wall according to the Greek Orthodox tradition. Behind the altar, the Greek Orthodox carried out excavations in which they found the bedrock and found some houses of the Roman period leaning against the rock. On top there, above us, is a dome, a second dome after the dome of the Rotunda. It seems that the dome is well preserved from the 12th century, and so are many other parts of the building. So this is the largest unit in the hands of the Greek Orthodox. This is a different world.
It is.
We have an organ, we have confession booths, so you know that you are in the Catholic world.
Yes.
Now, in Catholicism, it is accepted that the way of the cross had 14 stations of the cross.
Yes.
From the place of judgment to the burial place. So the last stations of the cross are all concentrated within this complex of the Holy Sepulchre. The whole tradition about the Via Dolorosa, or the way of the cross, got crystallized in the 13th century. And it was most probably by Germans, Europeans. In Europe of those days, most of the population was illiterate. And they had difficulties in reading the Gospels. So they had to act it, that they played with actors in order to let the population know the Passion of Christ. And when they got to Jerusalem, they were looking for the different stations which were in the plays that they watched in churches in Europe. And actually, this is a result of those medieval fabrications.
The Via Dolorosa was.
Yes.
Yeah. So the actual stations are here.
No, in actual way of Jesus, from the place where he was judged to the place where he was executed on the cross, that is probably a totally different road. The Via Dolorosa comes from the east, and they identified the ancient fortress Antonia, named after Mark Antony, built by Herod the Great, in order to honor Liz Taylor's friend, Mark Antony. But today, many of the scholars think that Pontius Pilate had his judgment and had his residence in Jerusalem in Herod's palace, which is behind us in the western part of the city. So the way of the cross was totally different, and this is a medieval, much late tradition which is far from reality.
That's it for this particular interview. Thanks for joining me. Really excited to take this ongoing journey with you as we keep bringing more content. If you haven't already, you really should subscribe to this channel. There's a lot of phenomenal content coming down the road into the future that you'll want to know about. Leave a comment down here. I think people would love to hear from you, and then you can hear from them too. If you liked it, go ahead and give a like. It only takes half a second, and share this with people that you care about. The world needs more light in it right now. So thanks for being with me. Hope to connect with you again soon.